the nuclear issue.
Well, joining me now is Sara Bazubandi, non-resident researcher at the Institute for Security Policy at Keele University. So what's your reading of where we stand with these negotiations now?
Good morning. It seems like neither side is, which was fairly obvious from the outset of these negotiations, that neither of the parties involved are willing to make the compromises that their counterpart is requiring. And in a sense, when the visions of each side are so far apart from one another, it's really hard to imagine that there will be a lasting, meaningful deal concluded. I would imagine Tehran wants to buy some time because they know that the midterm elections are coming up in the United States. World Cup is coming up in the United States. And generally speaking, they have a very detailed and thorough psychological analysis of this US administration and specifically President Trump himself. And the understanding they have, which is sort of reflected in the public debate and public media, local media, Farsi-speaking media, is that President Trump has a fairly short attention span, and he will get bored of this crisis and he will walk away from it when it's, getting nowhere, basically. And this is what they're hoping with this extensions of 30 days ceasefire, 60 days ceasefire. Now let's agree to speak about a deal. Sort of this is reflected in their strategy.
But it doesn't really benefit the Iranian government for this to go on because, of course, the economy is suffering. There's potential sanctions relief with any agreement. So surely they would want to resolve this as well.
Yes, the Iranian government has pursued a very from their perspective, successful strategy of separating the economic interest and well-being of the people from the economic interest and well-being of the state. You're absolutely right. In this particular episode, I repeat myself time and again when I speak about this crisis. This war may not have an ultimate winner, but it has a definite loser, and that is the Iranian people. People are losing their future, their hope, their value of their assets, their well-being, the lifestyle that, as modest as it became since 2011, when the nuclear sanctions came to effect, were able to survive. Now people are losing all of that, but the state has various ways and means to maintain its financial stability, to maintain its financial power, even at the to the detriment of the Iranian people. They have had built a very sophisticated and fairly successful sanction bypassing mechanism across the world with the help of some of their strategic allies, i.e. China and more recently Russia, and some of the regional players. Iraq has been the key player in helping Iran in bypassing sanctions, Turkey as well. So they still have, the state still has all of these options, but the Iranian people are the ones that are really losing in this crisis.
The Iranian people are losing. So very briefly, what should we read into the president's remarks when he sounds so optimistic?
I learned from the beginning of this crisis that optimism or pessimism or anger or making really scary truth social content from President Trump really doesn't reflect the reality on the ground.
Sara Bazubandi, thank you for joining us on BBC News.